Welcome to your Monday Morning Pearl. I'm Steve Keck. Today, we're going to continue our conversation around bringing personal culture into sales. Last week, we talked about how to handle conflict. This week, we're going to talk about another cultural value you may not think of, and that is how you listen. And like all cultural values, this sort of works on a spectrum. And so when it comes to listening, there are two extremes. One is a sympathetic listening technique. And the second one is a controlling listening technique. Now, a sympathetic listener is a great listener. They love to hear what you have to say and absorb it. The short side of that is they don't often give you anything to do with what you're telling them. They don't like to give advice, they just tend to listen. And while that's great, if you really need some guidance, they tend to drop the ball. A controlling listener listens only so much as to gain control of how to give advice. And a controlling listening style is a little bit more common in sales and sales leadership for this reason. Competitive and extroverted individuals, which tend to make up the majority of salespeople, tend to listen to gain control of the situation and then help give guidance and advice. Every salesperson is going to say, "Oh, I'm a great listener. It's required for my job. I need to know what my clients need in order to solve their problems." But you demonstrate your cultural value when you exercise how you listen. Let me give you a couple of clues to let you know that you might be a controlling listener. If someone has said to you, "You haven't heard me. You're not listening," guess what? You're trying to give your advice and you're not trying to hear the person. If you've ever been accused, guys, of being a mansplainer, guess what? You tend to be a controlling listener. On the other side of things, if you're a sympathetic listening salesperson, what you tend to do is you listen really well, gather a tremendous amount of information, and then you have difficulty asking for the business or helping a client understand what steps they should be taking because you're too busy gathering information and making sure that they understand that they're heard. But if they don't know what they need, they sometimes need to be guided. And that is part of being a good consultative seller. As I said, there are a few people that land on the extremes of this and often land somewhere in the middle of this spectrum. But each side of this cultural style is an opportunity for you to get better at doing the opposite, leaning onto the other extreme. If you're a controlling listener, avoid giving advice. Hold out for a few more sentences and confirm what you heard before speaking your opinion. And if you're leaning towards the sympathetic listening style and you realize a certain amount of time has passed, maybe it's time for you to interject your opinion and see what happens. One of the real benefits of knowing how you land in this listening style can really help you become intentional about being a better listener. And you'll find that clients will respond because you are showing a greater sense of understanding and a greater willingness to speak your opinion when it's needed. And they will listen to your guidance and close deals with you. And as always, we love helping companies build dynamic sales cultures. So if you want to have a conversation with us, reach out to us on our website or one of our social channels.